Voices are heard, and the real starts here. The real starts here. The real starts here. No filter, no fear. Truth in the mic, let the whole world hear. Stories unfold, voices sincere. Welcome to the place where the real starts here. From life and love to the latest news. Community voices, different views. Breaking it down so we all stay clear. Honest conversations live right here. Speak your truth, let it be known. This is the space where your voice has a home. No judgment here, just real and clear. Real talk with Tamara, the real starts here. Real talk with Tamara. Real people. Real stories. Real truth.
Hello, good evening, you guys. How is everybody doing? I'm gonna let you all start getting the notifications and start coming into the room. How's everybody doing? Is that Sia? Sia. Let's see who's up in here. I see the Black Barbie, Tyranny, Treyway, True, Angel. Is that Saya? Gigi. There's more people up in here. Tyrone. Ooh, I'm hot. I need me some water. Let's see. Y'all is not going to believe who I saw today. Y'all won't believe who I saw today, y'all. I walked into 201 Poplar. I was on my way up to, I had a meeting in the prosecutor's office. And you've been following me. Thank you. Thank you so much, Treyway. This is my first time seeing you in here. So I'm glad you're typing in the chat. Everybody that's in the chat, start coming into the chat. Start typing into. What's up, Yam? Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Like, share. He says, Sia says, what's up, Diane? Diane, I was about to call you I got distracted 3 times today. I was like, I haven't touched bases with Diane. You know, I was out of town this weekend. I still get sick to my stomach on his birthday and the anniversary of his death. I can imagine. I promise to God. I was getting ready to call you this morning and I got distracted like early this morning. And then when I was out after I left out of a meeting, I was getting ready to call you. I was just distracted because I was out in the field today. Trying to get statements. By the time I finished I had a meeting. Then I had to be out in the field. By the time I finished, I was drained. Child, I should have been a counselor or something. Yeah. But y'all, guess who I saw today? I walked into, like I said, I walked into 201. They had you in the trenches today. Trust me, I was in the trenches today too. From the North Memphis to the Mound. From North Memphis to the Mound. Everybody was chatty today. I mean, everybody. Whew, I think Friday I was sick. I was a little sick Friday. My sinuses, my head was hurting me so bad. It was my sinuses. I sleep up under the air and the fan. So I think it's my sinuses because I normally don't have headaches unless I have pressure. Like it has to be my sinuses. So I'm gonna have to take some cold medicine. The only thing about taking cold medicine is they have me so sleepy and tired and drowsy. And then I know they say buy the non-drowsy, but I don't want to buy the non-drowsy because if I take the medicine, I do want the effects of the sleep, the antihistamine that is in it. I was on Elvis Presley, scared. I was gonna see the sign that says Orange Mountain. You was on Elvis Presley. You should have called me. Were you on Elvis Presley today? If you was on Elvis Presley today, you should have called me. We could have had lunch. Um, Elvis Presley is quite a bit of a ways from Orange Mountain. It's not that far, like 20 minutes, but you would have had to go down Winchester and Winchester to Airways. I came to the Coach store and found a Church's Chicken. Child, you went to the Church's Chicken on Elvis Presley. Over there by my studio. That's over there by my studio where that Church's Chicken is at. If you went to the Church's Chicken on Elvis Presley, it was in Whitehaven, down the street from my studio. It was in Whitehaven. Yep. Anyways, you guys, I wanted to talk about but I wouldn't even I was out of I wasn't even in town Saturday and Sunday. Um but I came back in town Sunday. But oh yeah, they got some nasty attitudes over there, child. I don't go down there to their churches. They got some real nasty attitudes. But yeah, but y'all guess who I saw today? I know he up in here. Do you want I know he in here. Do you want me to tell it or you want to come in here and tell it? Okay, I'll tell it. Whoever the person. So I'm walking into 201 Poplar. I guess I was loud because I was talking to the lady at the front. You know, security, you know, you have to go through you know you have to go through security, right? So I don't know how he knew who I was. He must have heard my voice. I don't know. People say they be recognizing my voice. Okay, because anyways, I had my back turned, waiting on the elevator. I walked over to the elevator. I was on my way up to the prosecutor's office, and somebody tapped me on my shoulder and said, "Ain't your name Tamara?" I said, "Yeah," and he said, "I'm Stanley." I said, "Stanley?" He said, "Yeah, Stanley." And I looked at him, and then I looked at his eyes. I said, "Go man." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Hi, Stanley." I said, "How you know it was me?" Y'all know I got paranoid then. I'm like, Stanley never seen me in person before. How you know it was me? And he was like, I recognize you. Y'all know the paranoia kicked in, but he was real cool. He was real cool. Stanley, what I was gonna tell you is I didn't think about it until later. I thought about it later on when I was on my way up to that elevator when you said you had to go over to the fourth floor. I would have had one of the attorneys to pick that ticket up for you in the court. I know that one of the attorneys that be in the courtroom. I would have him pick that ticket up for you to have it kicked out where you wouldn't even have to wait. So he was really nice, you guys. He was nice. Okay. He was really nice. His eyes are not as tight as his brother, but you could tell that him and Hernandez Govan is brothers. When I was going up there, I was praying. I was like, Lord, y'all know I be having that paranoid spirit on me. I said, well, God, I said, um, I said, well, God, I don't guess Stanley on nothing. His brother in jail. I don't guess they trying to wait on me outside to try and line me up or nothing like that. Y'all know that's the type of stuff that be going through my head. Okay. I was like, well, his brother in jail. I don't guess they're gonna be standing outside trying to line me up when I walk back out or nothing like that. Okay. Thank you for the jewels. Stanley, I'm just messing with you. He said, Uncle Alert. Thank you for the jewels, Shay. Is that Shay? Shay, yes? Shays? Um, anyways, you guys, y'all know that we are he said he a law abiding citizen. Okay. Y'all know we are celebrating Young Dolph birthday. We've been doing this every year, of course, and I like to do this in remembrance of Young Dolph. And to me, it's not just about like having something to talk about on the vlog because there's so many things to vlog about. There's been other things that I've been working on. I could have dropped that today, but I was like, you know what? I think that particular vlog that I've been working on, and I have been working on it, and y'all, my feelings is going to be so hurt because it's going to be like the start of a series. My feelings is going to be so hurt I've been working on it so hard and putting a lot of stuff in it and adding and taking out and doing voiceover and stuff. And I was like, if y'all don't look at it, my feelings is gonna be so hurt. So I really put a lot into it. I really want for you all to look at it. I hope that everybody likes it. I'm sure that you all will like it. But I was like, I think my birthday is coming up in a few days. So I was like, I think I'm gonna drop that on my birthday because I've worked on it so freaking hard. But it's like I'm gonna upload it. It's probably gonna be like I got it at like 20, I think 22 minutes right now. I'm gonna add a few more clips. I'm trying not to go over 29 minutes because people start to get bored. I don't know, 29 minutes is too long, but maybe 25 minutes or something like that. But I said that to say this, like when talking about Young Dolph, it's not just it's not about trying to find something to talk about. It's other things that we could talk. It's so much stuff that we could talk about, but I really enjoy speaking about this young man. I think that Young Dolph, especially with what we see going on in the industry and what's going on in the how we see the 360 deals and how these artists are getting being broke, busted, and disgusted, and how much of an illusion everything is. To see a young man that got into this industry and was really able to flip it and fillet it the way that he wanted to do it. A Memphian that comes from out of Castelia. Everybody that lives in Memphis, especially that came from the hoods, whether it's from the north, south, east, or westwood, okay, has put their feet in Castelia, right? We know that Castelia, I see now they're starting to try to, build new homes and stuff over there, which is a good thing, newer homes and all of that. But we saw like in the past, like how the area was like a more of an impoverished area, and they're working on it now. Thank God. But when Young Dolph was coming up, it was really impoverished. We know that there were projects and stuff around the area, and to see that he came from an area like that and was able to amass what he did, I feel like a person like that is to be celebrated. And his assassination, I think, is to be talked about. People say, "Well, why you always want to talk about that?" Because I want to. When people say, well, Young Dolph Young Dolph died, or Young Dolph dead. No, I like to put a lot of emphasis on, well, he was murdered. He was assassinated, right? I think it is important to speak about this young man who was um as it relates to the music world, I could say was a prophet of his genre or whatever. And when you talk about the music industry, you talk about all of the devils in the industry and how they're taking advantage of these black men or the young men that come from the areas like Young Dolph. I think it is important um I mean, to me, I don't have an issue with saying that he could be considered like a prophet, right? And the reason I say that is because the prophet comes to liberate, right? The prophet comes to speak truth and liberate. And I think that that is what exactly what he was doing as it relates to that industry. He was liberating these young men by showing them another way and not getting tied up in these slave deals, and that was liberation, right? And so I think that's why it is important. I don't think that people should forget him. I'm gonna tell y'all something that I was talking to somebody else about a lady from out of Memphis. And I don't want this to happen to Young Dolph, which is why my dad had started back speaking about her, which is why I have decided to pick up the mantle and keep going. We had a Harriet Tubman of Memphis, Tennessee. It's so many great people that came from out of Memphis, Tennessee. And she was an activist in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. And what a lot of people don't know in Memphis, Tennessee is that this lady was a wealthy lady who was in the inside, right? And she decided she was in the inside. She was, in with the white people. She was in with the wealthy, the upper echelon black people who kind of looked down on black people, right? Once they thought they had a seat at the table, okay? And she said she decided she was looking at what was happening to her people, and she turned, right? She decided to turn and become an activist. She was like, how could I be a black woman and what my parents went through, and see what my parents and my grandparents went through and go to college and get in the inside and then turn my nose up, right? And so she decided to become an activist, and she was strong and she was brilliant and she was bold. And so what she did was she started exposing a lot of what she learned when she was in the inside, right? And it kind of reminded me of Rahab in the Bible when she was used as a spy to help the men of God, right? And so, anyways, but she was bold. She would go down to the city council and she would bust out the black people who were selling out other black people, and the white people who were doing underhand things to poor black people. And she fought Memphis like gas and water, right? She by herself, a black woman, stood alone by herself. And she says every month in Memphis, black people's their lights were out. Poor black people sat in the dark every single month. This lady said in 1980 she fought Memphis like gas and water, and she fought them with her own resources, and she won. Okay, she says every month we have poor Black people sitting in the dark because they don't have the money to pay all their full light bill, right? So she took Memphis Like, she fought Memphis Like Gas and Water for years, and she was able to get a judgment that, which is what we get the opportunity to benefit off of now. It was because of this Black woman that we are afforded the opportunity to pay a partial on our light bill and make arrangements. Before then, they weren't able to do that. Okay. She was a Harriet Tubman of her time. A lot of people don't give her the credit that when the sanitation workers did a strike, there was a man that wrote a poem and asked her to read the poem. And when she was reading the poem, she said, "Ha, this is going to be the tagline. I am a man." Okay. She coined that phrase, "I am a man," for the sanitation workers. Each and every time Dr. King came to Memphis, this lady, Miss Crenshaw, was the lady whose house that he was staying. Now, Miss Crenshaw was a lot older than Dr. King, but Miss Crenshaw told my dad, she was as she got older, she trained my dad in politics. She was my dad's mentor. And she told my dad what was hurtful to her is that when Dr. King would come to her house and he would sit up at night and talk to her, right? Dr. King spoke about how he, more so than the division, okay, Dr. King was more so hurt about the snakes in his camp, and he knew that he was going to be betrayed or something. He knew that he was being betrayed, but he didn't know the extent of how bad the betrayal would be. It's a darn shame that Dr. King had sacrificed himself and his life, and you had, and so for the betterment of all Black people, and you had other Black people that was in the camp that was jealous of Dr. King because he was the person out front, right? Everybody ain't got what it takes to be out front. That's why I say people have to be content with playing their part. Like, everybody just ain't got what it takes to be out front, but they can be a badass in the back sometimes. Sometimes that is, just what you're meant to do. Play your part in the back in helping the person that is out front, right? And this was a man who had a young family that actually sacrificed his life, right? And so you had somebody like Miss Crenshaw, and because of how bold and brazen and brave Miss Crenshaw was, I'm going somewhere with this as it relates to Young Dolph, okay? They wrote her out of history, okay? They wrote her out of history. Right before my dad retired, my dad started talking to me. He was like, I really want to do something for Miss Crenshaw. He said, because Miss Crenshaw was she was highly intelligent, she was bold, she couldn't be bought and paid for, and they wrote her out of history. She was a major part of the sanitation strike. She was on the committee that helped to organize to get Dr. King here to Memphis. He stayed at her house each and every time, told her a lot of his secrets. And I remember when Miss Crenshaw kept real good notes. And I was a big girl, maybe a preteen when Miss Crenshaw passed away. I remember hearing my dad talk to my mother about, Miss Crenshaw was in the hospital and her house was on Van Street. And he said, Miss Crenshaw was in the hospital, and she said she don't know if she's going to make it back home. She told my dad to go to her home and get all of her file cabinets, right? My dad kept those file cabinets up, and I don't know what my stepmother has done with them now, but quite a bit of that stuff my dad put into, brought over to the studio. But shortly after my dad went and got that lady's file cabinets, which had all kinds of stuff in it, because she kept good documentation. She was able to refer to a lot of what her conversations that she had with Dr. King and had told my dad about it. Shortly after my dad went into that lady's house when she was in the hospital, and got a lot of her file cabinets containing a lot of documents and stuff, like old documents, that they burned her house down, right? Her house was set on fire. Here, honest God's truth, okay? And burned down. And that land, my dad had tried to buy. A church had bought the land. My dad went to the church and asked the man, listen, I want to build a museum on this land. Her lot was right here. His church is right next to the land. He just ended up buying the land next to it. He said, I want to build a museum exactly the way that her house was. I want to buy the land from you. Now, we looked it up. The man only paid like $5,000 for the land. My dad told him, I'll give you 20 for it. I'll give you $20,000 for the land. He listening to what my dad wanted to do. He's supposed to be a damn preacher, and I don't want to get mad because I'll get the cussing. Okay. They say you ain't supposed to cuss out the man of God. Okay, Lord, hold my tongue. Please, God. Lord, please don't let me talk about that preacher. Please, God, please. Because I want to say some real ugly things. But God, you be a keeper and hold my tongue, okay? And so with that preacher, when my dad told that preacher what he wanted to do, y'all know what he said to my dad? He said, well, I tell you what, Mr. Thompson, a black ass motherfucker in Memphis. Lord, please, it just came out. I tried to hold it, okay? In Memphis right now, okay? Still over there with that church. He told my dad, I tell you what, yeah, I paid $5,000 for the land, and I can appreciate you want to give me $20,000 for the land, but I tell you what, I don't want to sell it to you. But I tell you what you can do. I will let you use the land. You go ahead and build the museum on the land, and y'all can use it as much as y'all want to. And my daddy looked at that man and said, you must think I was the damnedest fool that was ever born. Okay, God. I get mad every time I think about that, because you're supposed to be a man of God. My dad trying to do something for the city of Memphis, okay? And he got greedy. Okay? I have to control. I'm telling you, I have to control myself when stuff like that. When a lot of the stuff that I had the opportunity to see with my dad, I see what these politicians do and these preachers and how they fool people. Some of these preachers, I get real angry. Okay, I get real mad because people are it's a lot of people that have the wool over their eyes. It's a lot of younger people that don't believe in God or don't go to church simply because they've seen the games that a lot of these pimps in the pulpit is doing. And all preachers are not the same, because there are a lot of good preachers. Like Eric Wilkerson is a good preacher. Like David Young is a really good minister. Like it's those pimps in the pulpit that make the preachers like that look bad. Okay. So I'm not going to say all preachers are the same. Okay. But I just have to say, like, a lot of the ones like that one, okay, has done a lot of damage. Okay. Y'all see, God is a keeper, because I could have really went in on him and cussed him out, but I didn't do it. Okay. But anyways, I said that to say this. They wrote her out of history, okay? And and she did great things, and she was like a Harriet Tubman of her time. Young Dolph was like a prophet, okay? You had a young black man from out of Castelia that got into the industry, learned the industry, got rich in the industry, and started learn the recipe, figured it, got with some lawyers, figured this thing out, or paid to get the knowledge, right? And didn't take no contracts, no deals, was a free man, and then turned around and was teaching it to the young dudes in his community, okay, that could rap, and was teaching about generational wealth, buying land for his children. That man said a few years before he passed away, when I die, my kids gonna know that I was their daddy, okay? He said, my kids gonna know their whole life that I was their daddy because of how I got them set up. That's what real men do, right? And the sad thing about it is, I think that people should always remember him. You see a lot of people like Finesse 2 Times. We see a lot of artists, even before Young Dolph was killed. was talking about how the industry financially raped them. They didn't talk about it as much before because they didn't want to make the people in the industry mad, that they wanted to still get their crumbs, right? But now you hear people openly talking about it since Young Dolph since Young Dolph is no longer here. So I think that what the brother was doing was a great thing. And I think he could be considered a prophet, one of the prophets, okay, to the rap industry. Now, it might be a few more people that figured the industry out, but they weren't as brazen as Young Dolph. They don't want to go and be bold enough to teach it to their artists or to other Black people in the industry because they don't want to get blackballed. They kind of want to keep it to themselves. They take advantage of their artists. Okay, like Yo Gotti has learned, I believe, about the industry through trial and error, but he's still a damn slave. Okay, because he's still tied up in all kinds of contracts and $100 million loans and stuff like that. Right? Young Dolph was a free man. Okay, and so he was given that knowledge openly to his artists, and he would have done more if they had not interrupted his life. His life was interrupted. And we speak about him. I think it is good to continuously speak about him. His name should never be forgotten. Important. They want to take Young Dolph label and put it on Yo Gotti, but the people that ain't scared to speak about it know that's a motherfucking lie. Okay, he ain't did nothing of what Young Dolph did. They try to say he independent. We know that motherfucker ain't independent. Okay, he never was, and he still ain't, because he owe loans and shit. Okay, and I hate to be hard on Yo Gotti like that, because people say you hate him. No, I don't hate him. I hate what he did. Okay, I think that Yo Gotti and Young Dolph could have been similar to they could have did what Baby and Master P did in New Orleans, right? Because you think about it, Master P kind of did the same thing as it relates to the industry. He got 80% of his earnings and all of that. He was able to do quite a bit, right? I think the only difference is you hear people say that Master P, he would take care of it. He took care of his artists as to an extent, but he really taught the game to his son and his two brothers, right? Young Dolph was teaching the game to everybody. Y'all forgive me for doing all that cussing. Lord, please forgive me. Lord, take the cuss words out of my mouth, because I don't want to be, but Young Dolph was teaching the game to the little brothers, okay? And not just his family members, but to the little brothers that was around him, to create generational wealth. And so to real generational, I'm talking about that real generational wealth, not an illusion like Moneybagg Yo, what they say, well, God didn't taught Moneybagg the game. He taught him how to make an ass out of other artists like Finesse 2 Times. Go sign them in 360 deals. We getting all your money. So what you do is, it's like a pyramid scheme. Yeah, we get all your money back. Okay, we get all your money, just give you a little bit of it. But what you do is you go sign hot artists like Finesse 2 Times and other artists, and you put them in 360 deals, and that's how you get rich. It's a damn pyramid scheme, but Young Dolph wasn't doing it like that. Okay, and so that's why he is to be celebrated. And Bag ain't doing it like that either. Okay, because he ain't been making no damn money since Finesse 2 Times became a gamer, because he ain't gonna let them constantly get rich off of him. And Bag ain't making money like that, because if he was, the process service wouldn't be chasing him down, okay, to try to get him to pay a damn bill. Okay, help me somebody. But shout out to Bag. Okay, Bag is talented. Shout out to him. He's a Memphian, but okay, it is what it is, right? So anyways, back to Young Dolph. It's his birthday. Okay, so that's why it is important. I think that Mia, okay, should always, on his birthday, like his mom and his family should always put up a Daddy-O, Key Glock and them. They should always put up billboards around Memphis, because contrary to what they did to Young Dolph is not a reflection of all Memphians, right? That's another reason why I consistently get on here and I talk about this, and I cuss folks out and call them on their shit and let them know how pitiful they are, right? When people cannot stand up. You say you're a man, but you can't stick your chest out and say them motherfuckers did that dude dirty. It ain't nothing manly or righteous or right about that. Okay. So, I mean, I'm a woman, and it's other people that have the exact same sentiments that I have. They just don't have platforms, right? Young Dolph loved Memphis. That's why he was in Memphis. Memphis loved Young Dolph. And believe it or not, a lot of people don't appreciate what they did to him. So that's why it is always important. What they want them to do is get mad and say, well, you know, we ain't messing with Memphis, or Memphis did him dirty. No, you constantly put his pictures up, put his billboards up, and remind them that and they took a king away from here. Okay, Young Dolph is Memphis. When I go downtown, and I work downtown, when I'm riding downtown, when I'm looking at the side of them buildings and stuff, you look to the left and the right, you're gonna see Young Dolph. You see his they done painted his pictures and stuff on the side of them buildings. He is Memphis. And so no bitch, young black youngster, none of could ever say, well, you know, he from Chicago. Hernandez Govan tight-eyed ass tried to say that, cause he from Chicago. I caught that shot. Now he's a damn Memphian. Okay? He more Memphian than them. Look at how they destroyed Memphis. By killing him, by taking somebody like him away. And what God did do? He done screwed him dry. Okay, how y'all say it? He dry screwed him, or whatever you call it. Okay, without oil or whatever. He screwed him without oil. Okay, and that jealousy, that jealousy still got him hating Young Dolph, right? And so that's why I say, I'm talking about the haters, okay? But you know, the people that love him override the haters. You had so many folks out there when he was killed, coming from all parts of the city. You didn't hear a lot of people from North Memphis talking bad about Dolph. Okay, them folks didn't get in their hell. If the folks gonna be honest, people talked about how North Memphis wasn't even studying Gotti like that. Okay, them folks from North Memphis wasn't on their vlog and stuff, or getting on the internet talking about being disrespectful and talking about, you know, yeah, that's why they weren't doing that. Okay, because I don't really think that they agreed with that. There was no need for it to happen, and it wasn't because of how, you know, young, because Boo Dirty and them talk bad about him too. 3 6 Mafia and them talk bad about him. Hell, how come Hernandez Govan and all of them don't have the same sentiments when they was dissing at him? Okay, when 3 6 was dissing at him, and all the other artists that dissed at him, but he felt like, you know, 3 6, he was coming in and he was getting more traction than 3 6. They had their time. So Yo Gotti started getting more traction, but Young Dolph was coming in after Yo Gotti. And I think Yo Gotti had an idea in his mind. Okay, well, I'm getting ready to take over the South. I'm gonna take over the South. I want everybody in the South to be signed under me. But Young Dolph, you know, he had dreams just as big as Gotti. And for some reason, in that big head of his, he felt like he couldn't do it with Young Dolph, you know, having grand ideas of being a CEO, right? And so, you know, he paid him and whoever else, because, you know, I get to thinking about when Young Dolph was killed, all of a sudden, another label called CMG came up. And remember, Boosie was supposed to be a part of it. Okay. I hope Boosie wasn't in this, you know, because he really didn't show Young Dolph no love or anything. You know, when Dolph was killed, and I don't think Boosie got but one kidney. Okay. And I like Boosie. Boosie's one of my favorite rappers, but you know, when God started getting at you, okay. I just hope he wasn't involved, because everybody that was involved got to pay. Okay, because God had messed around and stopped that other one from working. Okay. But anyways, you guys, this is why we have to keep his legacy alive. This is why I talk about this. Okay. And I don't want Boosie Kidney to stop working, because I like his music. Okay. I like Boosie. He's one of my favorite rappers. Okay. But hell, you have to pay. But even though he's one of my favorite rappers, my you know, we represent Young Dolph to the fullest. We don't support nothing wrong just because he my favorite. one of my favorite rappers don't mean if I find out that he was involved in this stuff with Young Dolph, y'all already know I'm gonna talk about him, right? And it's gonna be bad, okay? Um, because I don't be asking nobody. You got a lot of these men, um, they know what they did was wrong, and then they try to figure out a way to try to make it right. Okay, they try to figure out a way to make it right. Well, Young Dolph should not have talked about him. Y'all do know, but they won't say why Young Dolph was talking about him. Here, I would have talked about him too. Everybody knew, yeah. Yo Gotti wasn't saying nothing about him. See, people like that. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all know folks that ain't shit. What's up, Tamika? Shout out to Tamika Abram. Y'all make sure y'all vote for Tamika Abram. Tamika, what district are you running for? And that's what we have to get the right type of people in, and let them know what district you're running for. Tamika, put it in the chat and what area it is so that they'll know to get out and vote. Let them know what district and what area it is. Put it in the chat, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Okay, so y'all will know. Vote for Tamika Abram. Okay, that's how we do it. Let them know what areas, because some people don't know what their district is. Let them know the names of the areas. And so, you guys, yeah, but we're gonna always represent for Young Dolph. Okay, we always representing for him. Okay, and once you put the names of the areas so that people will know their areas that they live in, they'll know to vote for you. Shout out to Tamika for coming in here. But yeah, guys, but what pissed me off is people act like they forget why that boy was doing that. That dude didn't just decide to do that. They want to put it on Gucci Mane. Okay. And hey, people have a right to hey, it's some people that I mess with. They have a right to their opinion. Let me just say that. Okay. But they have a right to their opinion. And some people that say that they feel Gucci Mane was involved, see, there's a difference. There's some people that say, well, I feel like Gucci Mane did it, and they may really feel that. And then there are some people that say it that try to make the excuse to take it off other people, because they trying to protect Yo Gotti. Okay, like when Hernandez Govan started saying it, he was trying to protect. He started listening to certain people, and then his mind was, whether he believed that it was true or not, he was like, well, this is a way for me to protect Yo Gotti. Okay. But the truth of the matter is, Young Dolph started talking about Yo Gotti because Yo Gotti and them was going to to the radio stations and stuff, and blocking him and telling, getting with DJs and telling them not to play the boy music, and telling because Yo Gotti had been in the industry long before Dolph, so he knew more industry people, telling people not to do features with Young Dolph. They was trying to block him. And so then when they started blocking him in the music, they started reporting him to the police, talking about when he was coming in Memphis, he was selling weed. They was putting the police on it. Okay. So they was trying to take him down. And so people, especially around Memphis, know it. But for some reason, they omit that and then want to act like Young Dolph didn't have any reason to be mad at Yo Gotti. So what Young Dolph said was he was smart. He was brilliant. What he said was, okay, since you want to block me, you're gonna get with your friends at the radio stations. You don't want them to play my music around Memphis. I tell you what I'll do. I'll talk about your ass in my songs. Okay. That's gonna make everybody listen. I got my money up because he already had a lot of money, which is why he take them little crumbs that he was trying to offer him. He already had it. Okay. And he said, when I asked T.I., I asked Snoop, I asked all of them to do a feature with me, I ain't have to wait on no record label to cut no check. I let them know I had the damn money, whatever they asked for in my backpack. What Yo Gotti broke ass was saying was out the door. Money talks. The rest of the bullshit walks, right? So he couldn't even stop that. So everything he did, it was basically null and void. So the only thing that was left for them to do, which is why I can't believe that these dudes allowed jealousy to push them this far. It was the ultimate. The only thing that they did everything they could do him. They shot him several times and he didn't die. They tried to stop him. They was on their way over there to Westwood to try to kill his artist. They thought that was going to discourage him. We started killing this artist. Hey, we going to kill him. We already been trying to kill him. Okay. They did everything they could to stop him. Okay, we tried to block him. We couldn't do nothing with that. We tried to get him locked up in jail. We couldn't do nothing with that. We're going to have to go and kill him because if he stay around, your God is in his big head, grand ideas of him taking over the South and sign all of the Southern artists being up under him will be out of the window. And that ain't going to happen for long because his ass is going to be indicted at some point. Okay, he going to be indicted. Head gonna be indicted, and Black Youngster gonna be indicted. B Mims ass is gonna be indicted. Okay, all the motherfuckers is gonna be indicted at some point because you better know, and Zach Randolph, because they all had something to do with what happened to him. Okay, and it's a couple of more of them. Okay, they're gonna be indicted, right? And so I know people get to. I wonder when they ain't got no lives. I wonder when them indictments gonna happen. They be loving it. They so obsessed with me. They be loving to hear me say that. That's a way for them to. Well, when it's gonna happen, motherfucker. When it happens, that's when it's gonna happen. Okay. I kept telling y'all that somebody else was gonna be indicted before Orange Mound Quet was indicted. I had told y'all he was gonna be indicted in June, and he was supposed to be. They waited a little later. I kept telling y'all it's gonna be somebody else indicted. They think they didn't tighten their ship up, but it ain't tight enough. Because them folks want them. They want them and they're gonna get them because they paid for that hit and they still taking care of the people that did it. Okay. I get to wondering sometimes. I don't want to talk about Quet because this on my Dolph's birthday. I just get to wondering if something was intercepted. People get to talking about, they feel like Hernandez Govan is in jail right now because of what he did to Young Dolph. No, I think Hernandez, in my opinion, I think he in jail right now because of what he was doing since he been out. What he was doing and probably was getting ready to do. Okay. Probably what he was getting ready to do or what somebody was getting ready to do to him. But I believe it was more so what he was getting ready to do. Okay. Because for some reason, his old ass can't leave. Leave that alone. Okay. But anyway, y'all, it's Young Dolph's birthday. And we like to... Tamika, did you put... She said 38117. What area is 38117? Is that in East Memphis? Hell, I don't know what. Let's see, 38117. What area is 38117? Let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to see what area in Memphis is 38117. It's East Memphis. It's Poplar Avenue around Poplar, Perkins, and Mendenhall. Okay, because it said like around Poplar, Perkins, and Mendenhall. Y'all make sure y'all get the likes up, you guys. Make sure you all get the likes up. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, please like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, Big Head was slick dissing, and then he got Black Youngster. I remember Dolph did an interview, and he didn't even want to talk about Black Youngster. And they asked him about Black Youngster dissing him, and the only thing that brother said was, and he said it just as smooth. He said they got him doing it. He said that. He said they got him. They got him doing it. He said, "Listen, I ain't got no issues with him. This is between me and his boss. I ain't got no issues with him. I actually like what he was doing. I actually like what he doing. That's all he said about him. But you know, Black Youngster suffering for what he did, and but I mean, he gonna have to suffer in jail at some point. Cause Black Youngster, I'm tell you right now, you already know, darling. I hate it. I really do. But you already know that they're gonna come and get you at some point. Um, 38111, and I hate that. I really do. I have a bond with Black Youngster's family, with a lot of his family members, and have been since I was 5 years old. So I mean, I don't know Black Youngster, okay? I don't know him, but I do know his mother, okay? A lot of his aunties and stuff. His cousin is my best friend. So I hate that. I do. Um, but you know, he knew better. He knew better. But you have to understand, like, and I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but Black Youngster was looking for some acceptance and some love. And that's not an excuse. But he's gonna have to pay his retribution to society because he didn't have no business getting that deep in that. Um, she says Midtown, Audubon area 38114, South Memphis 38115, Hickory Hill, Fox Meadows area 38118, Melrose, Getwell area 38125, Winchester, Melrose? Is Melrose around Orange Mound? I also have a small portion of Collierville. Okay. Y'all make sure y'all vote for Tamika Abrams. Thank you, Black Barbie, for the 1999 super sticker. I appreciate it so much. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Okay. Make sure y'all hit the like button. So yeah, all of these dudes that played a part in what they did to this young man. But I think it's good to celebrate his legacy because he did leave a legacy behind, and it's not just Paper Route Empire. I'm talking about, when you talk about his legacy, you talk about the intelligence of actually conquering the slave industry, right? He never became a slave, and he was able to become a multimillionaire off of the industry without becoming a slave. Okay. And I think that is something to be honored, and something to especially with a lot of young men and women feeling like the industry is their only way out. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they can't, they have a talent and they haven't been taught that they can think their way out, or they can go to school and become other things. They think about the entertainment industry, right? It ain't nothing wrong with being in the industry, but I think it's something wrong when you don't know the business. You can't just go into something with just talent. You got to know the business of it, or else you'll never be wealthy. The goal is to use your talent to get wealthy, right? um and in that industry you could get rich really fast, and so that should be the goal, right? And so that brother left behind, I think he should, you look at him and you see that he was able to beat the odds, right? He was able to beat the odds, and he became a millionaire without allowing them to tie him up in all those slave deals. So many other artists fell prey to that, such as Yo Gotti and all of them. Yo Gotti, I was going to say he might be out of it, but I don't think he is, because he said he inked a deal with Interscope for $100 million. So Interscope ain't just gave him no damn money for free. Okay, they gave him that $100 million that he got to pay back plus interest. Okay, so but we didn't see Young Dolph doing things of that nature. Okay, so I think it is important. I be thinking about his mom and his dad. We talk about his kids and his wife all the time, but he had other family members that he was close to, like his mother and his dad and his sisters. When Straight Drops, I believe it was Straight Drops trial, or it was Hernandez Gomez trial, but his sisters were there. It was Hernandez Gomez trial because one of his sisters didn't want them taking pictures of them. I do believe, and they shouldn't have. And I remember one day I was up there at court, and some reporter tried to be real slick and tried to slickly take a picture of his sister. I was walking out of the restroom, and I heard her. She was real loud. She kept saying, "I am offended. I am offended. I am offended." And all you can hear him say, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." She said, "No, I am offended." Okay. And she kept saying, she was loud as hell too. And I don't blame her because, they was coming to the trial and stuff. I think I saw him walking to the car or something one day too. They had people with them, but, and I would have been offended too. You slip and try to take a picture of his sisters so that you can get paid or get some brownie points or whatever, or whatever it is that you got going on. And she saw him do it. Okay. But he had sisters and a mama and a daddy and stuff. They all loved him. Okay. He was close to them and they loved him too. And I think about when anybody that has children, we always set in our minds that we are going to bury our children, right? In our minds, we always think about we're gonna not bury our children, but our children are gonna bury us. Okay, our children are gonna bury us. Hey, that's the way it's supposed to be, right? But for them to have to bury their son who had helped to change their lives, that beat the odds, that all of the odds that was against him, he beat them, was a good father, took care of his children, made sure his children, as a real man would do, okay, would never have to want for anything, even after he was away from here, okay? To give birth to a superstar, and then to see your son on social media gunned down like he was nothing, arm and stuff hanging all out the window. All he did was just go in a cookie shop to get some cookies, being back in his hometown to give to the people that he loved in his hometown that he grew up with. And you had a bunch of stupid motherfuckers sitting up talking about, well, they never would have killed him if he had never came back. The same motherfuckers that was out there to get a damn turkey because they asses ain't have no money to get one. He was feeding their grandmamas. They too sorry to buy their own damn grandmama a turkey. This man got a big heart. He giving back to his community. God is teaching this artist the art and the importance of giving back to the communities that help to support you. Okay. And you had people, because of that slave mentality that they have, and they slick hating and they slick jealous, okay, hating on the boy. Well, then he shouldn't. They was probably eating some of his turkey then, some of eating bones, spitting bones out and shit, talking about, well, if he never should have came back. Okay. That's the mentality of a lot of people. And it don't just happen in Memphis. It is universal, especially as it relates to our community. And that is why I always say that it has to change. And my stance has never changed. Thank you, New to You, for the 1999 super sticker. I appreciate that so much. My stance has never changed. I've been the same from day one. Okay. When they tried to do everything. They tried to bully me. They was mad at me because I had inside information. They say I ain't got no inside information, but they stay over in my bushes all the time. Okay, they stay over in my bushes all the time. Okay. There's ain't nothing she ever said happened. Everything that I've said has happened, and if it ain't happened, it's going to. Okay, if it ain't happened, it's gonna happen. Okay. It just ain't happened yet. They don't make me mad saying it just ain't happened yet, but it's going to happen. Okay, I remember I had when Hernandez Govan was arrested, I had gotten a call and said, "We just got him. We just got him." I said, "Got who?" He said, "Remember I was telling." Okay, so anyways, the person was like, they had just got him, right? So I was like, "Dog, um, I went live. I went live, and so many. I was like, y'all, there has been another arrest in the Young Dolph case, but I don't want to say who it is. And the reason I didn't want to say who it was because I was like, okay, I didn't know they had just gotten him. They had just gotten him. Okay, and so I was like, okay, so what if he get down there and he decide to cooperate? They may not make it. Um, they may not put it on the news because sometimes they'll do that. When people automatically they get in there and they go, "I'm gonna turn state's evidence," they'll have them arrested, but they won't let the media know. They'll tell the media don't put it out or something like that, right? So, anyways, I was like, I broke it. Hell, I broke it before the news did because I got it from I got it from who had got him. Okay, and so some motherfuckers was getting on their vlogs. They wanted me to be to my this bitch talking about somebody been arrested, but she can't get a name. She always was lying. Okay. I left. I had to get off because I was like, y'all, we're gonna wait until the news media put it out. Because I knew if they gave it to the news media, then I wouldn't have to worry about just jumping and putting out anything too fast that could hurt an investigation. Okay. I didn't want to hurt the investigation because I didn't want to do anything to hurt it. So, anyways, I left. I mean, folks started, because I was like, y'all, we're gonna stay on here until the news didn't get it to hours and hours and hours later. I got off of the live, okay? And then when I got back home, I saw people writing in my comments like, you was right. You was right. They finally put on the news who it was that was arrested. I had known that he was gonna be arrested months prior. Okay. I had known that. That's why I could tell y'all with a lot of confidence. These dudes that I'm telling y'all, them folks the FBI is going to get them. They plotted and they planned and they used their money to pay for a hit on this young man. Hell, the FBI was able to pull Juke financial records and shit and see that Juke ain't have the type of money that they paid for that hit. And if y'all think they only paid $100,000, there's something wrong with you. Somebody got more than that, way more than that. Okay. And it wasn't straight dropping Cornelius. Okay. But anyways, we're gonna move away from that. We're gonna celebrate Young Dolph. Okay, we're gonna celebrate Young Dolph. Okay, and they lied on Teaser and got him killed. But I don't want to talk about that because Teaser case is gonna be solved. Okay, and they was okay, but the folks lied on that boy, and Teaser wasn't no innocent person. But he did his little dirt too, but he wasn't involved in the Dolph stuff. And they lied on that dude. Somebody lied on that dude. And then Hernandez Govan said Teaser friends killed him. Okay. So he done helped the FBI quite a bit. I'm just saying by saying that. Hernandez Govan said that on his live. Teaser friends killed him. And I'm trying to understand why they would kill him. I'm not repeating nothing that everybody didn't already see. Hell, if I saw him say it, I'm sure law enforcement saw him say it, just like law enforcement saw him when he was on Ratchet Live and said when he said he knew who killed Juke. And I'm gonna tell you how I know. Listen, I got a call from somebody. I know they're gonna say she always talking about she get calls. You motherfucking right, I get them. The first thing he said was, your boy just was on a vlog and he said he know who killed Juke. I said, oh, okay. I said, I did a vlog on it. I said, I think everybody is doing a vlog on that. He said, oh, okay. And he didn't say nothing else. And I tried to get him to say something else, and he didn't. It spooked me out so bad. Um, I called Cypress, and Cypress is my witness. I said, Cypress, I said, my friend I told you that's high ranking at MPD. I said, he called me and he mentioned Govan doing that interview with and saying that he knew who killed Juke. I said, that's the first thing he said, but then he wouldn't say nothing else. I said, he said it for a reason, so I think I'm gonna just back. I ain't gonna talk about it no more. Cause I don't really know what's going on. I hear my right hand to the Lord on my daddy's grave, on my grandmother's grave, on my own life. Hernandez Govan was indicted either that evening or the next day. I have to ask Cypress. Cypress said it happened the next day. I think they indicted him that evening. So yes, they watch. They watch. I think Govan was the low hanging fruit as it relates to young Dolph, but I think that he wanted him dead. I think that Govan wanted Dolph dead, and I think it had more so to do with him not signing straight drop um, and whatever it was that Miss Kamisha was telling him. I think he took on that energy. I think he took on that bad energy, and so he moved forward with whatever their plans were. He was definitely involved in it. So people have to reap what they sow. I know a lot of people think, well, he was probably picked up because he was, found not guilty for this young Dolph situation. And no, I don't think I don't think that that's it. I think it's something else going on more than likely, and they got him off of the street for another reason. I could be wrong, but I don't think that I am. And because if they had wanted to get him for young Dolph, y'all do know that the feds have different statutes. They could have indicted him and tried him, and they could have. I mean, just based on what I see there, they could figure out any reason to indict him. Okay, so I don't think that's what it is. Um, I think it's something bigger going on. Hell, regardless of what has happened, they still have an obligation to protect his life. They still have an obligation to protect his life. So I think it's something bigger going on that you and I don't know about. Because ain't nowhere in the world they would have just picked up a misdemeanor charge and made it federal, and it didn't have anything to do with him being acquitted of the Young Dolph case. I think it's way bigger than that. I think it's way bigger than that. I think something was intercepted. If I had to guess, I think something was intercepted. Either he was plotting to do something to somebody, or somebody was plotting to do something to him. That's what I think. Anyways, you guys, shout out to Young Dolph. We're not gonna talk about them. Shout out to Young Dolph. I want to, y'all know this is my favorite. I said we was gonna talk about Yella Beezy, but we're celebrating the life of Young Dolph. Today is his birthday. Okay. Um, Hold on for a second, you guys. I want to show y'all something. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, okay? Run the likes all the way up. Run the likes all the way up. Yeah, he would be 41 years old it's something, like when people get in their 40s, they change again. I think he would have changed again. He would have been way, 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 way more laid back. He was probably already laid back. He would have been just, I think he would have been close to being a billionaire, if not a billionaire. And I don't even think he would even be thinking about Yo Gotti or Juke or whatever. And he would have made way more millionaires. It would be so many young black millionaires right now that was creating generational wealth the right way without being a slave to the industry. He would have created that. And so I think that's why the industry didn't mind Yo Gotti and them doing. They actually glad that they did it. I think that they actually are glad that they did it, because Yo Gotti helped them to keep the Glorillaz and the Moneybags and all the other black artists as slaves. That's a betrayal to his own community. Yo Gotti ought to be ashamed of himself. I ain't talking about the illusion of what y'all see of them showing their lab grown jewelry and their fake lifestyle. I'm talking about, and then and then in real life, like Moneybagg Yo, the process servers be trying to serve me. I know that because I'm a damn process server. Okay, I'm a licensed process server, so I know that they be trying to serve him. I know process servers that be trying to serve him and not paying no damn bills. Okay. Folks be suing him all of the time. Okay, I ain't never tried to serve, never will. But so I know that for a fact, and it was all over the internet. So I ain't telling nothing that that ain't already out there. Okay, it was all on camera. He was signing autographs. That's why I feel like that's why he don't sign autographs no more, because the process servers be waiting to see where he gonna be at when they able to get a location on him, and then they're gonna come and serve him like they was doing when he was signing autographs and having concerts and shit. So I think he just don't want to do it no more. Okay. Let's see, you all. Hold on. But shout out to Moneybagg Yo. Okay. If he has signed, Moneybagg was already talented. It wouldn't have taken anything from him to sign with Young Dolph. Moneybagg already had the talent. So he would have been just as successful with Young Dolph. He would have just been rich for real. Okay. And he was going to be successful because he's talented. So, but the only difference is if he had signed with Young Dolph, he'd be having that money in rotation in real life. He'd be creating that real generational wealth, and the process service wouldn't be trying to find to serve him for not paying his bills, right? Help me, somebody. We preaching today, okay? We preaching. We're going to tell some truth up in here today, okay? So he should have signed with Paper Route, okay? But that opportunity is closed now, okay? They don't want it, okay? We got too many bills. Y'all hit the like button. Let's pull up some stuff. The news recognized Young Dolph today, you guys, in Memphis, because he's a Memphian.
Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis rapper Young Dolph would have celebrated his 41st birthday on Monday. Adolph Thornton Jr., known better by his stage name Young Dolph, was known around the Mid-South and the world for his music. In November 2021, Dolph was murdered in the city he self-proclaimed he was the king of, Memphis, at Makita's homemade butter cookies on Airways Boulevard. Related, Hernandez Govan found not guilty on all charges related to Young Dolph's murder. Since Dolph's death, Justin Johnson, one of the gunmen in the fatal shooting, was found guilty on all counts and received a life sentence. Related convictions upheld for man found guilty in Young Dolph's murder, records show. Cornelius Smith, the other gunman in Young Dolph's murder, was sentenced to 20 years in prison after he accepted a plea deal. Hernandez Govan, who was accused of organizing Dolph's murder, was acquitted last summer.
Shout out to Young Dolph. Okay, I'm glad that the news media recognized him, and they need to continuously recognize him. He need a day. Have they given him a day? We need to get with Paul Young on making sure. We need to. He'll do it. Paul would do it. Mayor Paul Young, he'll do it. Today needs to be recognized as Young Dolph Day. He need his own day. Y'all, let's do it. Y'all, let's write in. It's 133 people in here. It's more than that. It's actually more than that. Let me see what it's saying in the back studio. How many people really up in here? I have to look in the back studio to see who's in here in real time. How many people in here in real time? Let's see. In real time, it's 326 people in here. So I think what I want you all to do is call City Hall on tomorrow. Start calling City Hall, or we'll all decide on a day to call City Hall, and or the City Council. I'm gonna see who we need to talk to today. Need to be Young Dolph needs to have his own day, and today should be that. Okay, Young Dolph Day. August 27th should be recognized as Young Dolph Day. Or does he, or is November 17th recognized as that day? We'll see. She says they cut hair, feed people, all of that. I think they do it too. Yeah, they do it in ATL. They was doing it in Chicago also. Shatana was doing it in Chicago too. So okay. Y'all hit the like button. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on. I don't know what it is about hold on. Somebody just sent me some. I don't know what it is about Young Dolph Day. His birthday. It bothers Yo Gotti. They said he paying tribute to somebody um on his page that died days ago. Okay, let's see. You know, the last time he put out an album on Young Dolph's birthday, the dude is twisted. That's how I know Yo Gotti need help. He needs some help. Hold on, I'm trying to see. Anyways, Yeah, long live Dolph. Long live Dolph. We always, like I said, we've been doing this now for 5 years, and we continuously pray for his mom, and his dad has not been in the media at all, which is a good thing. I guess, that's, if they basically, I don't think they want the cameras and stuff in their face. And his fan would talk about him constantly. Not easy for his son, because Dolph said his son wanted to be like him so much. He said his son would ask him, um, what kind of cartoons and stuff did he like when he was growing up. He said he would tell his son. He said then he would see his son go jump on the internet and be pulling up everything that he would tell his son that he liked as a child. He said my son is at the age where he want to do and be just like me and do everything that I do, right? So, I mean, I think that's so sweet. And for Yo Gotti and them to feel like they had the right to take that man away from his life, his real life with his children, a black man. And I referenced earlier in the video earlier that it really hurts me, um, that this man, and it could have been any man that didn't have as much money as Young Dolph. And the way they talk about black men not being there for their families, and they like to speak about those types of black men, right? So that they can build this negative connotation around black men, when all black men are not like that. You had a black man like Young Dolph who was taking care of his family and actually went and built a substantial amount of money, and knew that anything, thought about his family constantly, and wanted for his family to be okay even after he wasn't here. A lot of people don't even think they're further ahead, whether it's a man or a woman. They die and folks have to sell fish plates for them, okay? Or they'll get money and they'd rather go buy shoes and cars, and they rather junk all their money up, right? Okay. And then if something happened to them, their family is left with the weight of trying to figure out what they're going to do to try to get them buried. Kids don't have no fathers. It takes nothing to put an insurance policy on yourself to and divide that insurance policy up amongst your children in case something happens to you. I think that every parent should do that for their kids, regardless of how old their kids are. I think a lot of black people are undercovered as it relates to insurance. They go get a burial policy when you ought to be trying to leave some wealth, some instant wealth for your children, right? Or for yourself, put a policy on your parents, but instead you got old Negroes, old and rusty and crusty, sitting up telling my mama need to put a policy on herself so I can get the money, instead of going and doing it for themselves and paying the policy. See, the problem, they don't want to pay the policy every month. Okay, they want mama or daddy to pay it for their rusty asses. But that's a way to create instant wealth. This man went and did that, okay, for his children. And the reason I reference, like what black women have been going through, having to pick up the pieces when black men were taken away from them, like in the slavery days. And it really hurts me that you see black men continuing that cycle of what the slave masters did to black men and women and children, when they wanted to put fear in the women so that they could have their way with black women. Okay. Or they had a black man that have a strong spirit on them. They would tie the black man to the horse traders, okay, sending them away with the traders for some other slave family far away, to raise a baby that was still on milk. And so you had Am I still breaking up, you guys? Am I still breaking up? So you had stuff like this that was happening, and it's been happening for a long time, and it happened to Black people, and now you got Black people that's doing it to other Black people, which is extremely hurtful. Y'all, am I still breaking up? Let me know if I'm still breaking up. Y'all talk to me and let me know. Okay. So, so this is one of the reasons why I get angry, because if we're going to say Black Lives Matter, we have to really be, really double down on that. Black Lives Matter. Okay. It don't matter while you're happy. It matters when, even when you're mad at your brother or whatever. The only time I feel like a person is justified in taking a life is when that person is a threat to them. And I'm not talking about like Yo Gotti thought Dolph was a threat to him, but Dolph wasn't a physical threat to him. He thought he was a threat to whatever it was his plans were of taking over the South, right? Not that type of threat. Okay. I'm talking about if a person is a threat to your life, right? And it's funny how people then got twisted. Now a person don't even have a gun, and they'll shoot him. He gristled up at me. I feared for my life. The person ain't got no gun, ain't did nothing to you really but cuss you out, and you shoot him. You talking about you fear for your life. So they gonna have to reinvent that wheel too, child. But they don't want to reinvent it because they still want white people to be able to kill Black folks if they scared of them. Okay, they ain't did nothing to them. They just scared of them. Okay. Okay, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button also. But shout out to Young Dolph. Y'all already know we're gonna represent for him continuously. I'm not going to stop, right? And we're gonna represent until he gets thank you, Joy Loves God, for the $20 super sticker. She says, thank you for your continued dedication to justice for Dolph. Thank you so much, Joy Loves God. I appreciate the love so much. I do. I appreciate the love. I get 2 more super chats. I will have reached my goal. I would have reached my goal. Let me see. Did I even do a goal? Let's see. Let me see, you guys. I think I did a goal. I don't know. Y'all know I be forgetting stuff. Let's see. Oh yeah, I am doing a goal. So we got 3 of 10. So we need 7 more. So we need 7 more super chats, and we would have reached our goal. So shout out to everybody that has been donating. I appreciate that so much, you all. Do y'all want to talk about Yellow Beezy, or y'all want to continue to just make this Young Dolph night? This is his day. It's his day on this channel, anyways. It's still Young Dolph Day on this channel. Okay, it basically be his day every day on this channel, because that's how we do it over here. Because that's how I want to do it. Because y'all know it's my channel, and that's what we do. We enjoy talking about him. Y'all want to continue to do Dolph Day? Okay. Golden Rule Apartments SPO. Only about Dolph. Okay, we'll only talk about Dolph. Okay. So, I want to open up the lines, and you all can call in and talk about Dolph. And what did I do with my phone? I be losing my phones. Let me see. Do I have a... Hold on, let me see. I don't know what I did with my phone, y'all. Hold on 1 second, you guys. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Y'all give me a minute. I'm trying to pull up something. Y'all hit the like button for me. Hold on, you all. They're just showing the wrong thing. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to pull up something. Just give me a moment.
But my grandmama came here, my uncle came here. Like I got like a family history thing going on. Come to I know y'all appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? From the bottom of my heart, like I appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Well, do y'all?
We gonna take a picture?
No, you got a couple. You got some more folks coming. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I took a couple so y'all can check it out.
Thank you. For sure. Appreciate it.
We appreciate you so much and supporting us. It just means a lot to really recognize it and understand what hey, my kids are gonna die that I'm speaking as close to you right now.
No, they ain't. They gonna
Yeah,
be all right.
they are. So
I'm Young Dolph. This is my journey.
Yeah.
Be quiet.
Royalty.
Yo, what's good? It's the kid. It's Young Dolph. Y'all gonna be with me all day running around. You know what I'm saying? We doing a fresh run up here in NYC. You wake up every day and you see bullshit. It's just how a lot of people it is in Memphis. Parents fighting, parents on drugs when you around them. Man, you in this hood, you around all your cousins. This cousin gang banging, selling dope, selling crack. This cousin gang banging, this cousin in jail, this cousin, this cousin, all this shit going on. And you looking around and go outside, you walk to the store, crack house, another crack house. That was my hood was like, everybody was smoking crack. Everybody had parents and all the old folk like smoking crack. You just grow up not respecting nothing.
Thanks for coming through. How you doing, man? Like the old way. How you doing, man? What's up? Welcome, man. Coach, nice to meet you. We actually with the social team. We just wanted to grab like the selfie real quick and we'll throw it on our Instagram.
I just wanted more. You know what I mean? Like, I got tired of my mom and dad's situation, tired of my situation. I just wanted to change all that. You know what I'm saying? I had to wait till holidays, summertime to see my sisters and you know what I'm saying? Little brothers, they the same hood I am. I'm going to the same school I'm going to, seeing the same thing I see. Me, I used to be like, damn, let me bust a move and do something right quick so they won't jump out here and go for the options. Because the options is, oh, go sell dope, or go play some sports, oh, go to jail, go do some dumb shit. I gotta take one for the team. You know what I mean? That's just what I've been doing, really, since I figured this out. Just so y'all know, this is not a smoke-free vehicle.
Already know you ain't no killer. Always I make your bitch shook. Promethazine ain't eating my liver. You know how I rock just like you. Stacking Jackson, I'm walking like this. It's something you already know. Yeah, but what's so big, need your boat. My nigga, they come take your boat. My nigga, they so bold.
The first thing I did to pursue my career was put together a whole mixtape and pressed up 20,000 CDs, my first CD, and gave them all away. That was like really my whole marketing thing. Like I wanted people to be like, man, I can't die as Young Dolph. I gotta see what's up with Young Dolph. It's real interesting when you listen to like you gotta go to places, we gonna get them.
So what is this music we're gonna hear today?
We finna get ready to go over a couple joints off the album. I can play some new shit for y'all too, you know what I'm saying?
I spend it and go get some love, yeah. Spend some more money, beat another case. Ran down the limit like Scarface. $6,000 tuxedo. These bitches just love it, look at Lego. Little bitty nigga with a real big ego. 3 bank accounts with a whole lot of zeros. The nigga no Michael Utito. I just like I've been selling kilos. Got a lot of bullshit bitches on my roster. I got nothing but bitch.
So that's a little couple minutes.
Notorious Dolph.
OT is my boy. It was really just a whole positive situation from beginning to end. Before we even did the song, he told me like, man, I play your song at all my shows, you know what I'm saying? I like dig that. He sent me a record. He had sent me that cut and we just did it. I just told him like, whatever, just let me know what you need. Such and such. He sent the record. It went hard. I jumped right on it and sent it straight back to him. I wasn't doing no charging, none of that shit. It wasn't about the money, none of that shit. You focus on the destination, you're gonna take the right trip, the right journey to get to that motherfucker. You got a destination, you ain't gonna let this shit stop you. It's all on what you want. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody that got more than the average, they work more than the average. Harlem right now, I had to come to my spot, get something to eat, taste the seafood. This like crack right here, man. A lot of times I sit back and think on certain moments, periods in my life where I was at, what I was having, what I was doing, what I was around, to where I'm at now. Like this just a miracle. It's just a blessing. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? The journey is Dolph.
Shout out to Young Dolph, you know. You know. Said God had told Cypress he couldn't hang. He probably did give him a call and told him, Sight, you don't need to be on that live. So, because normally he would have done came in here and tried to crash. But he didn't tonight. So we represented. We needed we ain't need no haters of Young Dolph. Nobody hating on Young Dolph anyways. We was able to represent for him as we always do. So y'all know how Cypress is. Big CMG. He come in here trying to crash our party. He come in here trying to crash the party. So shout out to Young Dolph. I am very, I'm happy to even say that he is a Memphian, to have such brilliance to come from Memphis. And we have a lot of brilliance in Memphis. Let me just say that. There's a lot of talent in Memphis. But I think that the issue that is in Memphis is a lot of people have a covetousness spirit, right? They get information, they don't want to share it. This brother shared the information and was willing to help to pass the wealth on, right? Didn't want to keep everything just tied up in his loins, so that people would have to consistently come to him so that they can eat. What he was doing was he was actually teaching these brothers the game and teach them how to fish so that they can feed themselves. And he did a good job, because we see people like Key Glock and all of them still eating, Jay Fizzle and all of them. They living good, driving good. They're still eating because he taught them how to fish, and so it takes a real man to do something like that. So we like I said, we're definitely proud of Young Dolph, inside and outside of Memphis, all over the world, because his videos and stuff still get a lot of traction. And I think that he is definitely a young man to look up to. People just kind of want him to fade away, his legacy to fade away, but I don't think that's in God's plan. It would never happen. It would never happen. Y'all run those likes up. Y'all know I always play my favorite song. I don't know why. Y'all look, somebody went and called him, y'all. Somebody called him. He must have been in the bushes. Somebody went and called him, child. I have not eaten, so I'm gonna be on here 15 more minutes. But y'all know I'm gonna play my song. I'm doing a habanero steak. I got a taste for a habanero steak, and my habanero steak is so good. I mean, not habanero steak, but habanero roast beef. Habanero roast beef. I went and got me some fresh habaneros, and I got me this really nice, pretty roast beef. I got plenty of roast beef in the freezer. It's froze though. I went into the store and got me one that's not frozen, and got my carrots, my celery, my corn. I put corn on the cob in there too, and it'd be so good. Of course, with all my seasoning. My food is never under seasoned. It's never under seasoned, never salty. It is always seasoned to perfection, and the flavors are so good. I don't cook with salt. Okay, I don't cook with salt, but I use a lot of other seasonings to supplement that. And whatever seasons I use, if it's got a little salt in it, then that's the only salt you get. I don't like salty food. I don't like salt, period, really. I think he was in the bushes. Cypress, I believe you was in the bushes hating. He said, we want some. I'm gonna tell you what I'm not gonna do cornbread, because normally I do cornbread. I do homemade. or do some hot water cornbread, I'm not gonna do it. So since I'm eating late, I'll just eat my meat and vegetables, and I'm not gonna have, I don't want no cornbread with it. Anyways, y'all know I have to play my favorite. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. Hold on, y'all. Y'all, give me one. Hold on, you all. Hold on, y'all. Give me one moment. Here it is.
Yeah. I see we got gang in the building.
Gang, gang.
Yeah.
Put that shit up.
Hey, yo. Check this out. I know y'all familiar with the situation that happened at Duke University a couple of days ago, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, they fired 2 workers from a coffee shop for bumping my shit in the store.
Hell no.
Matter of fact, I brought them out here, flew them out here with me, man.
Okay.
This is the kind of shit I do.
Real niggas do real shit. I see you, dog.
Know what I'm saying? So, keep in mind, this was a VP at Duke University that fired them. It worked for playing the song Get Paid. So check this out. This is what we gonna do. I know for a fact that VP at that school, he get money, but he ain't get money like Dolph. So look, check this out. Until y'all get y'all a new job, till y'all find y'all a new job, I got 20,000 for y'all right now.
Let's go. Roll it out. Paper out Empire. We independent. We independent. Let's go. Hey, hey, hey.
Get paid, young nigga. Get paid, young nigga. Get paid, young nigga. Whatever you do, just make sure you get paid, young nigga.
Y'all see why they killed him? They couldn't take him, and so that's why even now, when he was killed, you heard CEO Bobby, you heard JoJo's what's his name, straight drop. They said, they were so jealous of him they couldn't take him. Okay, they were so jealous of him they couldn't take him. Hold on, y'all. They were so jealous of him they couldn't take him. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, guys. Hold on, y'all. What they said Dolph said them boys was wearing fake ice and Boogie Hulk who got exposed with the high cap. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I like to play. Hold on, y'all. Y'all be quiet. Thank you, Ebony, for the jewels, for the floating hearts.
What we doing on this right side over here?
3 p.m.
And what we doing in the back there?
I'm just something to go real fast, sitting outside the corner store.
Y'all, they killed him months after doing this show.
If it ain't one thing, it's some. We trapped together in this mama. I pay her bills and buy designer, but I don't love her. She just play a part when it's time to smuggle. I pull up, pick up that bag and burn. I got a sweet tooth, but I stay away from suckers. No boo and Malibu was my last sucker. I fucked her in rush hour traffic. Everybody screaming. If folks come and get you, you gon' tell on her. She said, can she fuck me with my diamond chain?
Yeah, that's my favorite song that he's got. Get Paid and that one. And I think because he shot the video in the area that I grew up in around Norris. I went to Norris Elementary, so just every time I ride down Elvis Presley and I see that area, they're starting to a lot of those stores are closed down. I think they're trying to redo some stuff. They should. The building is really old, but they should. But I'm always reminded of him. And so he was so Memphis. He was so Memphis. He couldn't have been more Memphis, even if he was born in Memphis. He couldn't have been more Memphis. So he was just so Memphis. So I feel like it was just totally disrespectful, distasteful of other Memphians to plot and kill him, use the money that the citizens that supported them, it's a shake my head. Yeah, I mean, Cypress shaking you right, Cypress. You should shake your head because it's a shame. I'm telling you, it's a shame what they did to him. But we're gonna always celebrate him. Shout out to Young Dolph. He the goat. He the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Okay, he really did it the independent way here in Memphis, and I believe that he was the first to do it. Okay. Big Face says, just a question. If the roles were reversed and Gotti lost his life and not Dolph, would we be putting on for Gotti like this and waiting the Rico to come to Pre? Yes. If Dolph had taken, thank you, Ebony. Thank you so much for the jewels. If Dolph had did what Gotti and them did to him, we would do the same. If there was a history of Young Dolph just constantly trying to kill Gotti, shooting him up, just constantly trying to kill him until they killed him. Yeah, just because of a rap beef, just because of words, just because of jealousy. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say this to you, Big Face. Um, when you look at Young Dolph's character, and I didn't know him like that, just listen to some of his interviews or whatever. Okay, and you can feel people's energy, you can see their energy. Young Dolph had a different energy than Yo Gotti. I don't think that Young Dolph would, because Young Dolph had the money to pay professional people to go and knock Big Yo Gotti big head off. His and everybody around him, because they was broke until Young Dolph was killed. Then they started going up after that. So Young Dolph already had the money. He could have quickly did retaliation on him. He didn't do it. That was a different type of brother. Okay. He understood they was trying to trick him out of his position. I mean, me being a woman, I promise I'd have put a hit on him. I'd have put a hit on him. Lord knows I would have. Especially when there's a consistent pattern. They were a threat to his person. Okay, there was a threat to his person. They was constantly trying to kill him. He should have did it. He should have knocked somebody down that would have set their asses down. Okay. But if they had did to Dolph, if Dolph them had did to Yo Gotti, and yeah, I would feel the exact same way, because that was just too much. A constant pattern of trying to kill him, shot him. You said, well, Jug died. Well, according to Hernandez Govan, Jug people killed some people. It didn't. According to Hernandez Govan, that Jug death didn't have nothing to do with Young Dolph. Right. In the end, nobody wins, but according to him. So, I mean, as it relates to Jug, I mean, I'm mad at, the people, whoever he trusted, some of the people that he messed with for doing this to him. I didn't want to see Jug die. I didn't want to see Jug get killed. That bothered me. It did. Thank you for the jewels, new to you. Y'all cutting up tonight. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate that so much. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button. I don't know how many likes we got. Make sure you all hit the like button for me. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. It says, did Paper Route kill Jug? Nobody was celebrating. Right. Nobody was celebrating the way they were celebrating when they killed Dolph. When they killed Dolph, they were celebrating. They made sure that they was out of the city. But yeah, they was celebrating when they killed Dolph. I remember all of them were on pictures. Moneybag, Gotti, and somebody else. So they killed that boy. And then Yo Gotti thought he was going to get away with it. Remember, he was saying, I'm the last man standing. He went and put on an army fatigue suit looking like a damn Thanksgiving turkey. That's when he thought that he was going to get away with it. Then the folks got on his ass and about ran him crazy. He told Juke them to throw the damn phones in the look. Don't get me started. Please. Them folks been on their man tail. Y'all, folks were sitting up talking about they got on his tail from the very start. I had been telling y'all that. They knew that he told Juke to throw them phones away. So, anyways, it took Hernandez Govan, it took Hernandez Govan to tell y'all that the folks was on the Gotti tail. I told y'all didn't believe me. When Juke died, they sold Juke packs. Who sold Juke packs? I don't remember nobody doing nothing like that. Big Face, how come I never saw that or heard that? This is the first time I saw or heard that. I know when Dolph died, Lil Migo had packages of with dolphins on it, and he was smoking, talking about, he said he was smoking on the Dolph pack. His weed packages or whatever had dolphins on it. Okay. He was talking, I guess he was saying he was smoking on a Dolph pack. Migo did with his little wee ass, and his ass is involved in a lot of stuff too. Okay. Blackout says they did. How come I never saw nobody saying that? Well, I didn't let nobody come into my chat and disrespect Juke. I ain't got that kind of soul. You know what I mean? Yes, we pro Dolph over here. Even, with Hernandez Govan daughter. Somebody came in one night and was trying to say some bad things about Desto, and I blocked them. I said, you're not going to come in here and say those things about a child, regardless of how they felt about her dad. I was not going to allow that energy to be spread amongst my chat. That's evil. I'm a mother myself, so I didn't allow that. So nobody ever came up in here saying they smoking on a Juke pack. The only thing that somebody said to me about Juke, when Juke died, it was a rapper. I'm not going to say who he was that came in here and said, Miss Tam, it didn't have nothing to do with Dolph. And then he named two guys that killed Juke. He named them. I just can't remember. And I guess the FBI did it. Hell, they disconnected the chat. Hell, I tried to go back and look at the names because I thought he said the names of the dudes that killed him. And I believe was credible. Okay. And I guess the FBI disconnected the damn chat because it says it ain't available to me no more. I just don't remember who he said it was. I wish I could remember. I didn't think much of it because it was so much going on. But it don't matter because Govan all but said it. Okay, he said he know who the driver was, who sat in the passenger side, and who sat in the back side. Okay, and he said all that. He might as well have said who did it. Oh my God, I forgot to get my watermelon. I'll get it tomorrow because I sure ain't. I don't feel like going out there having to load up my. Cypress said it ain't hard to figure out. I just want to know who it was. Well, no, I don't. I'm scared to know who it was. Because anytime somebody go up in a damn church and wait for somebody to come out and stalk them at a funeral, I don't want to know who they is. Just leave me alone. I just want to live and do the will of the Lord. child. Just leave me alone. I don't want to know who it was. Come to think about it. Okay, Govan said enough. In order for Govan to know, it had to have been people that Juke knew, because ain't nowhere in the world Govan would have ever known if it had been anybody that dealt with paper route, because he wouldn't have they didn't deal with him. But Govan said, didn't he say that one of them is out and two of them is not? He said one of them is out walking around wherever him and Ratchet was. So I guess he was there at the interview. The other two was locked up, didn't it? Or dead. I don't know. Cypress said one dead. Lord Jesus, if one of them dead, who killed him? I wonder who killed him. If he dead, who killed him? So, well, somebody said the same person that killed Juke killed Teasy. Somebody said that. Said the same people that killed Juke killed Teasy. And I don't know why, but I believe it. SB says one of them used to be out breathing air in Dallas until he got picked up in Memphis about 6 weeks ago. Somebody got picked up in Dallas? I'm trying to think of who that could be. So they was living in Memphis and they got picked up in Dallas? I don't know who that could be. These rappers there. So much stuff. I'm gonna tell them who that was. He said one of them used to be breathing air in Dallas. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh Lord, he's talking about Quet. So you think y'all think Quet took Juke out? Y'all know I'm tired. It take me a minute to think about stuff. Y'all trying to say Hernandez Govan took out Juke. He could have. He did tell Ratchet two of them was not around, but one of them was out where we at doing the same thing we doing. I don't know. He said that when Juke was killed, when he got first he said that when Juke was killed, he was on the next street. He said that on one of those vlogs, either on Vlad or that other vlog, the Street Stars vlog. And then Recently, they asked him where he was at when Chuck was killed. He said, well, riding down Get Well. What in the hell on Get Well? Ain't a damn thing on Get Well. Out of all the places to be, what he would be doing over there anyway, ain't nothing over there. But that's where they killed Jeremiah Taylor at. They killed Jeremiah on Get Well. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, God. Was Quit out when Jeremiah was killed, since he likes to be over there on Get Well. Oh, no, I don't know if Quit killed him. I will say this: somebody in law enforcement told me that one of them a couple of them True Mafia boys killed Jeremiah. I don't know how true it is, but a police officer said that. So I don't know if I should have said that. I probably should have said it, but I mean, that's what I was told. At one point, they thought that. Well, I probably don't need to say that. Anyways, it could have been anybody else. Though they haven't made any arrests, so I don't know. Maybe it has changed. I don't ask about Jeremiah anymore. I haven't asked about it. I didn't ask about it then though. So it ain't no telling what's going on with that, as a matter of fact. So I'll scratch that. I don't know if True Mafia was involved with that or not. Anyways, they weren't arrested, so I don't know. How come MPD knows much but ain't arresting folks? I don't know. You have to think about. They probably. Oh, I ain't gonna say that either. So I don't know. Your guess better than mine, Steven. I tell you. I tell you, whoever did this to Jeremiah, I hope that he has justice one day soon. Whoever it was, and I don't want to put no jackets on nobody's back because I don't know nothing about those True Mafia guys. Other than two of them are gonna be indicted. Okay, that's all I know. Anyway, child. They don't care to solve it. I think they are solving it. I think they are. I really believe Jeremiah's case is solved, but it may be some more stuff going on with that. Jeremiah's case may be a part of many other many other cases. So it's probably a part of many other cases. It kind of goes back to what Paul Hagerman said when Straight Drop's attorney asked him not to mention other cases that was being investigated or whatever. He couldn't do that probably anyways, I don't think. But he says that, remember, he says to the judge that he's agreed not to talk about other cases that there were other murders that happened surrounding Young Dolph case. There were other people that was murdered. So I would think that would be looked at as some type of organized crime, and you never know. I'm not saying it, but his murder may be in a group of murders that when they charge whoever it was that was involved, it might charge them with. These folks act like they don't know Tennessee got the death penalty. I don't know. Well, rest in peace to Jeremiah. They didn't have to kill him because He didn't do anything. All he was doing was over there cleaning up the mural, but they wanted to send fear in the atmosphere, and they booked that boy and they killed him. And I hate they did him like that because they killed him for nothing. I know that Teezy did his dirt and stuff, but I think Teezy was killed for nothing. And I know this, I could say this now because Teezy is no longer with us. But from what I knew about Teezy's interrogation was Teezy refused to tell on Straight Drop. He refused to tell on Devin Burns. And he refused to tell on any of those other Trula guys. But he agreed to tell on Hernandez Govan. I think I said that in the beginning before Quit ever even said that. I told y'all Teezy told on Quit. And I told y'all Teezy would not tell on Straight Drop. I told y'all that. But you know, hey, I guess nobody, but Hernandez Govan told y'all himself. But he did tell on Quit, and I think they got Teezy watching phones and stuff, so. It said Teezy wasn't killed for nothing. Well, I think that Teezy was killed for nothing. I believe that somebody made those. Okay, so Quet says that Teezy's friends killed him. I didn't say it. Quet said it. You was on the live Cypress when he said it. He said it twice. He said it on a bigger platform. He said it on, it was Vlad, but he didn't get into it. He just said Teezy was not killed by ops. He said that on Vlad it was Vlad. And you see how big Vlad platform is, but he didn't get into details. Then he flat out got it and said it on his channel. He said it again on his channel on Facebook that day. He was live. He said Teezy wasn't killed by no ops. Teezy was killed by friendly fire. His friends killed him. You don't get no more blunt than that. Hell, if the FBI and the police was sitting up listening to him talk about Juke, what happened to Juke, you know they heard that. Hell, we all heard it. His line was loaded with folks on there. And I was thinking to myself, he was so blatant and brazen with it. I said, damn, I wonder, is he for real? He didn't flinch. He didn't swallow hard. He just said it. Matter of factly, he said Teezy wasn't killed by no ops. It was friendly fire. His friends killed him. Cypress was on there. He my witness. Because I asked Cypress, I said, do you think he was trolling? But then I thought about why would he want to troll and put teasers? That ain't nothing you play about. So then his friend came in here. I can't think of his name right now because I'm so damn tired. Y'all know I've been traveling, so I'm tired. Y'all gonna have to bear with me. His friend that be coming in the chat sometimes, can't think of his name. So then his friend said, yeah, he told the truth. His friend said, well, they used to be friends, they fell out. He said, he came in my chat, he said, I wonder if he was trolling. He said he wasn't trolling. He said Quit manipulated them little Trula guys into killing Teezy because Teezy told on him. And he probably made them boys think Teezy told on them too. Teezy didn't tell on them. Teezy didn't tell on them. He wouldn't tell on them. That's why I hope that they didn't do this. I hope they didn't do this because they did not tell on him. He did not tell on none of them. They tried to give him tell on Devin Burns, little badass. He wouldn't do it. He didn't turn on Straight Drop, but he did tell on Quit. And from my understanding, was gonna be a witness in this trial. Okay, so you get, and I think the reason he decided to do it was because Teezy knew about how much money that was really gotten and who got the money. And it wasn't Straight Drop and Cornelius, okay? And he felt like straight drop them had not been done right. But now let me just say this. It wasn't going to be right because none of them should have been taking no money to kill a man. So it wasn't going to work out for none of them. But child, I just sit on the sidelines and watch everything play out because the folks know what happened. It's one thing to know and another thing to prove it. And they done proved a whole heap of it. Okay, but I think they got a bigger case that's mending together, and I think that's when Jeremiah will get his justice. I think that'll be people getting justice collectively. Okay. Simultaneously. I ain't saying that right, but because my tongue got tired up, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Somebody had to give Devin and Teasy names for them to be a person of interest. Right, somebody gave their names for them to be persons of interest here. And you never know. If Teasy, they might have been tricked into saying Teasy did it. Teasy ain't saying nothing about Devin because they tried to get him to say something about Devin and he wouldn't do it. He tried to play dumb on Straight Drop too. He didn't say nothing about them other dudes. From my understanding, what he claimed on those other True dudes was that it was a lot of new guys that had started coming around. He didn't know them. That's how he was able to get out of that. So I hope they didn't do this. But Quet says that his friends killed him. But I wonder if his friends killed him. I wonder why Quet would say that. I wonder why he would tell on them. Because he put that energy out into the atmosphere. That can't be taken back. It can't be taken back. And it sounds about right. He was killed in a neighborhood that him and his friends and stuff hung out in all the time. And just sat there until 1:00 in a neighborhood they always hung out in, supposedly. So that's weird within itself. So maybe Quet is right about something. I don't know. But I will say this: if the police and the FBI was sitting up listening to Quet say he know who killed Juke and then name all of the positions that the people were in, like their seating arrangements and all of that, I know damn well they heard him when he said Teasy was killed by his friends, and he said it on his live, and he said it on Vlad. Shit. I don't know what make him say that, because him and Teasy hung out with the same people. So why would he want to tell on not unless he ain't cool with him no more? I don't know. But he gonna get somebody indicted. So let me ask y'all something. I want y'all to answer the question. Do y'all believe that Quet was? Do y'all believe Quet when he says that Teasy friends kill him? Do y'all believe that he was telling the truth? I almost, he said it so brazenly. I almost don't want to believe it, because why would he say it? Like, why would he put that out there? But then, hell, why would he put out there that about Juke? Do y'all believe him when he say that Teasy friends kill him? Yes or no? Because I fought with that for a minute. Like even a day after he said it, I was saying to myself, it couldn't be true. Why would he put, it was just so weird. I mean, I said, okay, so, and the reason I say, why would he put that out there? Because him and Teasy were cool with the same people. That's why. If he had gone to the police, told the police to try to solve the case, I think that would have been great. He said Quet considered himself a friend. So yes, he would know he did. he did it. I don't know though, you know. News you said no, you don't believe it. He didn't sound like he was playing. He took, but here's the thing. He let the live stay up for a little while. He let it stay up for a few hours after he got off, and then he took it down. He took the whole live off. So I don't know. Quet used to be sitting up getting high and stuff on them lives. What's wrong with you, girl? Oh, y'all are saying Quet considered himself a friend, so y'all think he took him out. I don't know. I mean, if he had did it, do y'all think he would even mention it? Y'all think he would talk about it? Well, I mean, I guess he did consider himself a friend. That's how he would know, right? I guess. So y'all saying that the friend he's speaking of that took Teasy out is none other than himself, I guess. He said, what did Mr. N say? Folks were out living their lives with their family, and when Quet was released, that changed all of a sudden. Mr. N did say that, didn't it? Mr. N did say that. He said when Quet was in jail, Juke and Teasing and was all out living their lives with their families, and then when Quet was released on bond, everything changed. He sure said it. I guess he was throwing out a hint, huh? Lord, I tell you. Well, I'm pretty sure the police up on it. If it hadn't been no arrest, if there has not been any arrest in these cases and the folks know what happened, that just means that it's not time for an arrest or an indictment. You don't, you just can't do things prematurely. You can't do things prematurely, so. I tell you. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. Shout out to Young Dolph. Rest in peace to Young Dolph. Happy birthday to Young Dolph, you guys. I can't believe I'm getting ready to cook me a habanero roast this late, but I want it so bad. I ain't gonna put it in the slow cooker. It's going in the damn pot. Okay, it's going in the pot. I gotta have it. Okay, I got to have it. I have not eaten today. Anyways, you guys, I love you all. Thank everybody for the support. Thanks again. Let me see. Y'all show out tonight. Shay, is it Shay's? Black Barbie, New to You, Joy Loves God, Ebony Jim, you all supported the channel tonight. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, Ebony Gems, for more jewels. Thank you so much. You gave me more jewels. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate you all supporting the channel. If y'all want to support the Cash App, also, the Cash App is $. Let me see if anybody has sent anything to the Cash App. Let me check my Cash App. I never look at my Cash App. I be feeling bad that when I be looking at my Cash App and I see that y'all sent me money like a month ago or like a week ago, and I be looking at my Cash App, I'm like, dog, I don't even be realizing how much money I be having on my Cash App. So I appreciate you all for supporting me. Okay. I want you all to please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, y'all can hit up the channel via Cash App. I love you all. Y'all have a good night.